Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I am really excited to bring this fun collection from Hunky Dory Crafts. It's called Snippables and includes paper, stamps, and cutting dies. There's a whole stack of stuff I can't wait to show you, so come play with us. So the Snippables are a great collection. They include stamps, cutting dies, and this wonderful paper pad, which I'll show you through. So for the love of stamps, and then Moonstone cutting dies. This first one is an anemone flower. Don't laugh, Steven. He's over there laughing at me. And also comes with the coordinating die. Okay, and these dies fit perfectly over the stamped flower. The stamp has greetings. This one has butterflies, and then little background pieces right here as well. All right, and then we've got, this is the clematis, beautiful. I did a card showing you, I'll show you with this one. This one is the peony, beautiful. Oh, show you the die for that one. And then we have got the dog rose, which is gorgeous. And this one I love because it's got a little bit of an arch to it. This is the lily. And here's the magnolia. All right, so let's start off with, which one am I going to show you first? The clematis. All right, oh no, I was gonna show you the paper next. I got just so excited. All right, so here's the paper pad. This is called Floral Favorites. It includes background papers and also these great little flowers that fit perfectly with your cutting die. The coordinating cutting die lays right over this image and cuts it out beautifully. So let me show you if I can find it. Here we go. And this is what it looks like when I die cut that. Isn't that gorgeous? It cuts so beautifully. Let's zoom in on that, Steve. So it cuts so beautifully. Look at those stems too. It just does a great job. And so delicate, no white edge or anything like that that you have to go back and cut. I thought that was great. I'll zoom in myself. There we go. And, oops, it also comes with patterned papers so that you have a little help creating your card. Multiples of each of all of these. All right, so let's get to the fun part of the cards. So here's one where I took a thin line card or slim line card, which is 8.5 by 3, and then I cut this out of 2 different colors. It comes with both the white and the lavender. Also used a hot off the press cutting die here. Forgot to bring it, forgot the name of it. It's in the supplies down below the video. So if there's a menu there, it says product used, you can find that. I used a little bit of foam tape on this one. So basically I cut this out of the cream color ivory and then the lavender, and then I cut a second one out of lavender, and I just took my little scissors and I cut the blossoms off and then foam taped that just over the lavender one. So those have some dimension. And then just used a little bit of the purple ribbon set. And my card was done. It was just so fast and easy to use. All right, and now I wanted to show you what the same kind of paper, this is the stamp along with the cutting die. All right, so the stamp also fits perfectly over, rather the cutting die fits perfectly over the stamped image. And then it's got great greeting here. I used a couple of little thin line dazzle stickers right here. Let's see, what else can I show you? Oh, and also an oval cutting die. And as I said, all of these products are listed below the video in products used. And a great die cut card as well. All right, now I wanted to show you this card also using the stamps, but I also wanted, we had a customer ask us to kind of clarify what inks we use with pens and what inks we use with like watercolor pencils. Like what's the deal with the inks? Because it can be really confusing. So I'm gonna go through this really quickly. So if some of you, for you, this is a review. So this, for this particular card, I used just a cutaway. I cut about 1.5 inches from the top flap only. I used the papers that are included in the paper pack, the Snippables paper. And then I used a cutting die for this one. I used the 12 circles and scallops cutting die. And I foam taped that right on there. Then I used a couple more of those thin line dazzle stickers in the pastel set. And then I went about stamping and then coloring in my image. So I stamped this, and I'm going to be using some Tri-Blend markers. And if you're not familiar with Tri-Blend markers by Spectrum Noir, they're brilliant. But you do need a very specific ink to use with them because you don't want the alcohol to react with the stamped image. So for that, you want to use, Spectrum Noir's made this really easy on their ink pads. They've labeled this alcohol proof dye ink. Okay, so this is the Finesse by Spectrum Noir, alcohol proof. Works great, okay? And what's great about the alcohol proof dye ink, it's quick drying, it's smudge proof, and it's meant to use with those alcohol inks. It's not going to blend together and be all smeary, okay? Now also you could use the Memento ink pad, which is a favorite of mine as well, and it has that same property where when you're using it, what's lovely about it is that it's great. It doesn't blend, it doesn't smudge with the alcohol markers. It's just a great product as well. So you really have two choices there. We carry both, well, you have multiple choices, but these are the two brands that we carry at Paper Wishes, and you can find the product link for this in the products used under this video at our Webisode page. All right, so let's get to coloring. So for this, we're going to start off, I've already colored some of these leaves, but for the other leaves, I'm going to use dull green ink. And if you've never used a Tri-Blend marker, there are 3 markers in one. It's dark, medium, and light. So I'm going to start off by showing you, here's the dark, here's the medium, and here's the light. And you'll notice when I'm coloring, I kind of color right back into the color above me too. And that just really helps with the blending. But it's just a lovely ombre effect, beautiful for blending, and really simple too. So for my leaf, I like to start off towards the base of it with the darkest color. Then, and everybody has their own way of doing these. Some people start off with the light colors and then blend with the dark. I like to start off with the dark and blend with the light. So you just kind of have to find your favorite way. So now I'm doing the middle color. And then I'm going to go to the lightest color, color the rest of my leaf, and then I'm going sort of into that medium and just blending that out a little bit. Very simple, and I like to do it dark towards the center and light towards the end because I imagine that the light hits the end of the leaf more than it does towards the center. That's my logic there. All right, so for the next one, I have 2 colors of flowers really here, pink and sort of this coral color. So let's start off by coloring a pink one. And I like to use, this is the bright pink blend. And I start off here by going around the center of my flower, really just sloppy, and then I kind of go up around the sides a little bit here, just kind of trying to hit that edge, and not the same each time, a little bit less on each one. All right, so now I have the medium color, and I'm just going to blend that out a little bit, kind of getting into that darker color because it's very, very, very vibrant, and that's just softening that somewhat. All right, and now I'm going to the light color, just a little bit of the light color to soften it even more. As you can see, I'm still leaving a lot of space here not touched by the dark pink pen. Instead, I'm going to now switch to the pale pink blend, and I'm going to the darkest color because the bright pink just didn't quite get light enough. And I'm just going to blend that in like that. And also, I quite like how the two colors look together. You don't have to feel like you have to stay with one marker just because it has those 3 shades of the same color. You know, you can take a different marker of a different color. I like to stay pinks with pinks, purples with purples, but it's just an entirely different marker. All right, now for the center, I'm going to take this yellow. This is Citrus Blend. I'm going to take the brightest one, the darkest shade, and then I'm going to do the medium pen. And with this, I just kind of go right into that pink a little bit there. There we go. That's that one. So let's do the coral. Oh dear. I forgot my coral pen. No, I didn't. Here it is. That panic when you're like, oh no, I forgot to bring something really important while I'm filming my video. That makes my heart race. I should have explained. This, I started off with the coral blend. I used the darkest color right around the center again. Now I'm going to do a little bit of the medium color. Hey, Steve, let's zoom in some. There we go. And now I have the lightest color going out to the center, or rather I'm going out to the edge. Whew, I am still recovering from thinking that I forgot my coral pen, you guys. I'm still a little flustered by that. All right, now I'm going to go back to that citrus yellow pen, and we're going to do the darkest right in the middle and the medium pen all the way out like that. And I just did the same thing to the next one. And then for these little buds, I actually used, this one is Hydrangea Blend, nice purple. And I actually just used the medium color kind of around the base of the bud, and then the lightest color around the top. Okay? And then I just took my lovely die. Where is my lovely die? And where did I put it? Looking, here it is. I'm probably looking right at it. I am. Here we go. So you're just going to take this die, and it just fits right over the top of this in such a lovely way. Oh, that's really stuck in there. And that's just going to fit right over the top. You just want to make sure that you're not seeing any of your black stamped image. And then you're going to run that through your die cutting machine and get this lovely image like this. The butterflies didn't have a die with those, so I just took my little scissors, and after cutting them, I just went around the edges there, and then I just put a little foam tape underneath. Very quick, really. All right, so now let's get to the next card using watercolor. Okay, so this one's using the Peony. There we go. Here is the Peony die right here. Oh, if you could only see my desk, you'd know why. Here we go. And here's the Peony Stamp. Now this one is really stained because we used a permanent ink with this, and let me tell you why. So my friend Debbie did this one, and we wanted to show you the difference between using like an alcohol pen as compared to using watercolor pencils or a water-based marker. Okay, so with these you would want to stamp it not in a water-based ink, okay, like the two that I showed you, the alcohol proof and the Memento. Those are water-based inks, so they would, if you used a water product with them to color them, they would blend and look really, really muddy, okay? So that's why we use them with alcohol and alcohol inks, and that's a kind of a silly little way that I have of remembering that the difference between the two is opposites do not attract, okay? So you want to use a water-based product with a permanent or alcohol-based coloring agent, okay? And the same goes for if you're using a water-based coloring agent, you want to use a permanent or alcohol-based ink, okay? And that includes waterproof dye ink. This is also a Finesse by Spectrum Noir. And then StazOn, which is a solvent ink, permanent ink. And this is wonderful as well. So you can use either one of these with watercolor pencils or just regular pencils, and also like markers that are water-based that wash off with water, okay? So we've stamped that. I used the Finesse on this, but as I said, you could use the StazOn. And Debbie used this color combination, is the Vivid Hues by Aqua Blend by Spectrum Noir. And she used all the pinks and reds and burgundies right here. Well, not all of them, but she used these. This is Blush, Rustic Red, and Cherry. So what she did with that is, we'll start here. She took her pencil and she went kind of the darkest color towards the base of the flower. And then she went to the cherry and just added some right there. I'm going to go around this a little bit more. What's great about using these pencils is you can color in. Now I'm going to use the blush. You can color in the whole thing, and then when you go back and you hit it with the brush and the water, it's really very satisfying to see what you've done, and you're like, oh, that turned out so great. It's kind of magic. All right. Ooh, should have sharpened these pencils. All right, so now I'm just kind of looking to see where she put color on this. Now I'm going up kind of the inside of these flowers, doing those darker colors. Here's the cherry. Kind of going up on the edges here with the cherry, like on these outer edges, like that. And then, so as long as you're getting kind of dark, 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 I'm gonna get rid of that cherry now. Here's the rustic red, and doing the rustic red towards the base and the cherry towards the top, and then you're just coloring in pink, 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 light blush. All right. Now I'm not gonna do this whole flower, but this gives you the idea. So we're gonna actually use, you could just use a regular paintbrush and some water, or you could use, this is a water pen, which I love, and this is also watercolor paper, watercolor cardstock actually, also by Spectrum Noir, watercolor cardstock. This is great stuff to have. So with your pen, you just squeeze it to activate, to kind of get the water flowing here, just like this. And now we're just going to start blending. And I like to blend from the base up. That way I'm like taking the darker colors and I'm sort of pushing them up. Just like that. It's activating all those lovely colors. And really with this, I only had to get that water flowing one time. I'm not squeezing it at all anymore. And I'm avoiding that centerpiece because I'm going to add yellow to that. And now I'm just kind of going around and getting those little pieces little sections that maybe need a little bit more blending. Okay, that's how I'm doing the center of that. Now I'm going to take this yellow color. Ideally, I would let this dry for a little bit so the yellow doesn't react with the red, but I'm going to go ahead and color that. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to do some of the leaf here. So we've got This color is forest green. Find a leaf, here we go. Just like that. You could also add in, oops, this is Sunbeam. So if you wanted a little more of a lime color, you could add some of this lime green in, and then at the base do that darker green. Okay, so we're going to go back to our water brush. You clean off that red by just taking like a moist towel, just wipe that off. And now I'm going into that green color right here. My brush is still pretty wet just from when I squeezed some water out the first time. Now I'm going to this one where I'm kind of blending those two colors. All right, and maybe we can zoom in again, Steve. And now we've got the yellow right in the middle there. Just gonna blend that in a little bit. All right. And then Debbie took her dye for the peony. And she put that right over the flower. Just like that. Make sure there's no stamped image showing. Run that through your die cutting machine. And then you get this lovely image like this. And then on the back, you can see there's areas here that are like cut through a little bit and embossed, which is great, meaning that you could stamp these and not have to color them at all. You could just stamp the image and leave it white, and it would really be beautiful. And I love how you could even tuck a little bit of foam tape or something under there to give that some dimension. Now the background of her card here, I wanted to show you how that works really quickly. So for that, I'm going to take some blank card stock and my craft mat. And we've got blending brushes in multiple sizes. I wanted to show you both sets of these. So we've got the set of 3, which are a little bit bigger, and then the next size is down, the set of 4. And I'm just going to use the medium size here, and I'm going to use Harmony ink. Harmony ink is water reactive ink. It's great for blending, it's water based, and it's slow drying. Also Distress inks by Ranger have the same properties where they're wonderful for blending. So we're going to take this, get lots of ink on that, start along the edges here and work our way in just like that. Turn, and you'll notice I'm starting when I'm blending this paper, I'm starting off the edge and then going in, and that's so you don't get these big blotches, which sometimes I get those and it just makes me nuts. So that's how you're adding in that color to color everything. You can go as dark or as light as you want. This makes wonderful like sky background, okay? And then because it's water reactive, we can take our sprayer, or you can even just take some water on your fingers and just do this. So we're gonna spray it, we're gonna mist it from up here, and it not only sets the ink when it's a fine mist, but if you went ahead and you just sprayed like this and you went like this, you're gonna get some great big water drops on there, which is what Debbie has here on her card. And it just adds a very ethereal look to your background. It's really like fantasy looking. So I love that look. See if you can see here. All right, so that's really some basic techniques. Always clean your brush off before you put it away. I like to clean these with just alcohol-free baby wipes while I'm filming, and then when I'm done, I use soap and water on these and just let them dry overnight, because boy, you sure do get color way down in there. But blending brushes are a really nice investment to have. All right, so yeah, some basic stamping techniques for some of our viewers that just need to go have a little refresher if you're brand new to the craft. So you guys, we've got a great money saver on all of these cutting dies, stamps, and the paper. So I really encourage you to check that out. If you're watching us on our webisode page here at Paper Wishes, that is right over onto the right side of the right side of our page here. Just look over there for the money saver and you'll find a great deal. And also we've got the gallery, photo gallery below the video, and also the product used drop down list where you can buy everything individually. It takes you to those product pages. If you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. If you want to see more, just look in the description box below the video and you'll see a link to paperwishes.com. And you'll find everything I just showed you. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up because it really helps people find our channel, and subscribe because we do 3 to 5 videos a week and you don't want to miss anything. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.